Hi everybody, this is Glenn Kennedy with ProjectNSearch.com. I've got my URL at the top there. I want to talk to you guys today about fear because I just had somebody that messaged me and they said, Glenn, I've got the red dot on my mailbox. I heard they're rounding up next week. I've heard this many times before, believe me. In fact, when I was first waking up, I almost had somebody convince me to move to Montana so the tidal wave wasn't going to wash me away in Florida. So I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you because I've been there. I know that feeling, but I just want to say the things that I have learned over the last few years is that everything you hear on the internet from all these websites is almost 99% of it's garbage. Don't believe anything you hear as far as the roundup is coming, blah, blah, blah. Listen, all of you guys need to just go to veteranstoday.com for your intel. There's nothing else out there that even is 1% of what they put out. Everything else is a waste of time. If you're spreading Alex Jones stuff, you're helping the enemy because he's lied about 9/11 and he's covering for Israel and he's taking money from them and he's in touch with Israeli intelligence, as Gordon Duff said. The guy's a traitor. I don't help traitors. I mean, if the guy was real and he actually was pushing VT and pushing recalls and he was legitimate, hey, I'd be right there with him, buddy. I'd be shaking his hand right now. But I don't support liars that are helping the Illuminati behind the scenes pretending they're our patriots because I've seen this guy in action and I'm not going to let him do that without standing up to him. So that's why I will always rebuke Alex Jones for what he's done. He's also helped put patriots in prison. David Hinkson sits in prison for life because of Ted Gunderson and Anthony Hilder, and Alex Jones promoted both of them on his programs and has always said that Ted Gunderson's a hero when the guy's a traitor also, and he actually was a Satanist. So I know the truth about that. Stu Webb knows the truth. Veterans Today knows the truth about Ted Gunderson. So you guys that are Alex Jones fans, you have been led down the primrose path there, and you have no idea how evil this guy is for the lies that he's told. He actually told everybody that Leo Wanta wasn't even real, and he writes for VT. So if you believe a liar, that I can prove he's a liar, you're a fool. God says you're a fool. You don't believe liars because all lies come from Satan. But let's get back to the fear. Guys, don't fear anything. First of all, fear comes from Satan. If you guys are right with God and you've asked him to forgive your sins and you tell him that you will never deny Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior no matter what happens, then you're going to heaven. You're going to paradise, even if you do die. And get this, guys, you cannot die until God gives permission for you to die. So no matter how many people hate you, if you tell God that you want to do his will, you want to bring people to Christ, you want to serve him in some way, and that could be in lots of different ways. It could be, if you have kids, it could be teaching your kids about Jesus. It could be teaching a Bible class. It could be donating to real people that are doing God's work. Whatever it is, there's a billion ways to serve God. But I believe that we all must do it in some way. And we must tell God that we want to do his will for as long as we've got left on this planet. Because, guys, they're killing all of us little by little every day. But they can't kill you until God says it's time for you to go. So that's the good news. Even though the chemtrails, don't worry about the chemtrails. There's nothing you can do about it. Don't worry about Fukushima. Yeah, we are getting poisoned, but God can protect you, and God will protect you. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. But if you don't do God's will and you're living in sin and you know you're doing wrong, then that's when you should fear, because if you make God angry, he gives everybody chances. He's given me chances. I've screwed up. We've all screwed up in our lives. I'm not saying I'm not without sin, because I'm a sinner just like you. The difference is now when I sin, I know I'm sin. I ask forgiveness right away, and I try to fix that behavior. And I ask God to help me in that regard also. So just get right with God. If you're right with God, you're not going to fear. Secondly, get your information from Veterans Today. As long as Gordon Duff is living and he's alive and breathing, I feel pretty confident because I know 99% chance they're not going to kill me until Gordon Duff's going to go before me. I mean, and if you're not as active as me, I'll probably go before you. So as long as we're all breathing, as long as Gordon Duff's breathing, I'm not even worried one bit. And even if he does get killed, then I pray even harder that if if I need to die, then God takes me. That's fine. But there's no reason to fear, because fear just plays into the hands of the enemy. So don't fear. Secondly, guys, I want to just say one more thing. I'm going to keep this real short. All of us have to take it to the next level, guys. I'm seeing a lot of people out there that are just not doing anything. They're not sharing my posts. I know they read them, they don't share them. Maybe you guys are afraid. I don't know, but we got to get out of that fear mentality. And you know what? I just want to give you options, because maybe some of you say, "Oh, I don't want to share because my family will freak out." Whatever, okay? I'll give you an option. How's this? Everybody during the revolution did their part. Not everybody picked up a gun or whatever. Some of them, maybe they sold supplies to the colonies, to the revolutionary leaders, whatever. I mean, there was a million things that they could do to help the movement at that time. So I say this: if you're afraid on Facebook, which I hope you're not, but if you are, then I got something for you to do. Take some of your money, take $20 or $30, whatever it costs. Go down to Office Depot or Staples or go to Vistaprint and get some cards made. Just do one-sided cards. You can put on there, turn off the fake news, learn the truth that will never be on your TVs. VeteransToday.com, VeteransTodayRadio.com, where all the radio shows are. You got those cards. Now, every time you leave the house, you have those cards with you. Every person you meet, hey, did you know your news is fake? They're not telling you anything at all? You guys got to hear this. U.S. intelligence, yeah, they're putting out all the truth. It's crazy. It's gonna rock your world when you read this. Really? Yeah, I've done it a million times, guys. I know how it works. So just hand them the cards. And if they really are excited, they're like, oh, wow, I knew they weren't telling me the truth on my TV. Give them 2 or 3 cards like, hey, do me a favor. Just give these to your friends. Tell them to spread the word. We're taking our country back. We're run by a bunch of criminals in both parties. That's what I always tell them. Both parties are corrupt. That way, if you're talking to a Democrat or Republican, they know that both parties are scum. So get creative out there, guys. If you're afraid to post on Facebook, then you need to be handing out cards, hardcore. I mean, I go to gas stations. I get to know the owner. Hey, do you mind if I put some cards on the counter? No, go ahead. I mean, I live out in the country, so maybe it's easier here. I don't know, but very, very few people that have stores mind if you throw some cards on the counter. I've done it at Subways or whatever. So do that. I mean, throw them on the counters. If they say no, no big deal. Hey, go to the gas station. If you're in a restaurant, give it to the waitresses, give it to people around you, whatever. I mean, there's so many ways that you guys can do this. So, and then if you're not afraid on Facebook, because let's face it, guys, they already know you're awake. They know what websites you've been to since you were probably 15 years old or whatever, whenever you started on the internet. So you're not fooling anybody thinking like, hey, I'll just read Veterans Today, or I'll just go to InfoWars and I won't say nothing and I'll be okay when the roundups happen. That's not the way it works. They already know that you're awake. So you can either sit in the corner and do nothing, or you can get active and help us where we don't lose. Because I tell you right now, that's why I do what I do, because I don't want to look back and say, gee, if I would have woke up, if I would have just tried harder, we might have been able to win. I mean, guys, I'm talking to some people out there. Some of you are going to go do this business card idea and you're going to start leaving them around. You never know. I mean, you could reach a guy at a restaurant that would go wake up 10,000 more people. I mean, I've woken up millions myself. So I know every one of you out there can wake up, even if you do it on business cards, you can wake up thousands. If you do it on Facebook, the way I teach you how to do it, you can wake up probably millions over the next year easily. So that's what I want to tell you guys. Just do whatever you can do. If you can't do it with Facebook for whatever reason, then do it online. Go to truck stops, leave them in bathrooms, whatever. I mean, wherever people are going to find them. And guess what? Nobody will even know the card came from you. It doesn't have your name on that card. So that's guerrilla marketing, baby. Let's do it. Let's get creative out there, guys. I want you guys to give me ideas. I want sick, twisted, Dr. Evil type ideas, but for spreading Veterans Today in a more sick and twisted way so we can turn the matrix back on itself. Let's get medieval on these guys because we're not going down without a fight. I know I'm not. I know you're not. So let's don't go a day without getting more truth out there and hit new people. That's the key. If any of you out there are just posting to your Facebook wall only, you're wasting your time. I mean, you're wasting your time because you've already got those people, number one. Number two, only a certain percentage are going to see it. You've got to reach new people. And the way you do that is with groups and pages on Facebook. I mean, you go to project.nsearch.com. There's an ebooks menu option. You download that 1,000 group list in PDF format. You click down it. It goes to the group. You hit join. Join, 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 join. You join about 150 or 100 groups a day. If you ever get a warning from Facebook, just stop for the day. Go to the next day. But you'll be able to join those groups. Within usually an hour or two, they approve you. And then so later that day, you can post. It's so simple, guys. You just go get a hardcore article on Veterans Today or one of the videos on my channels from Veterans Today Radio. I mean, I would just stick to Veterans Today Radio and veteranstoday.com because, yeah, there's some truth out there on other sites, but here's the way to do it. Let's stop supporting anybody that censors Veterans Today, period. If they censor Veterans Today, they're the enemy. Do not give them a penny. Do not spread one of their stories. That takes out InfoWars completely. He's a traitor. That takes out people. That takes out probably 90% of the alternative media because they're paid to control it so that they take your money so you don't find out about Veterans Today. So just stick to only sites that do not censor Veterans Today and mostly Veterans Today. Because, I mean, Veterans Today doesn't have time to cover every single issue. Like, they don't cover the GMO quite as much as maybe some other sites. But there's plenty of other sites out there, guys, that will not censor Veterans Today. And just try to reach the owners. Hey, why aren't you posting Veterans Today? I mean, maybe they are and you don't know. So just find out. If they don't give you a good answer, get away from them because they're probably stooges. Okay, so anyway, so go out there, do the Facebook, do the business cards, meet people, shake their hands. Let's figure out ways to reach more people and take it to the next level, guys. That's all I want to say. No fear. Everybody reaches somebody new every single day. If you all do that, and by the last thing, every single person brings more people to Veterans Today Radio every day. And by that, it could be as simple as going to 5 groups when you know a live broadcast is going to happen in, like, say, 30 minutes. You go to that group and say, hey, Veterans Today Radio comes on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gordon Duff, Stu Webb, huge news being released, whatever. I mean, just hype it up a little bit to get them there because most of these people have no idea that Gordon Duff gets better briefings than the President of the United States. So Gordon Duff is a winner, man. He's going to take us to the end, guys. And I believe him. I want him to be my president. I'll do anything for him. And I don't trust anybody else right now at all. And I know Alex Jones is a traitor, so I'll never support him. So just get out there and promote the shows, promote the website, and promote the YouTubes. If you do that, we have a real chance to win this. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.